Hey guys, good morning, Jubilee greetings. This is Flamengo, already here in Ezeiza, already here in Argentina, Buenos Aires, for Flamengo versus Estudiantes. Estudiantes versus Flamengo, right? The match, third round of the Copa Libertadores group stage. We have a lot of news to bring you guys. I'll try to summarize as much as possible because I'm still here. I have to go through immigration, but I'm here waiting for the bag I checked in. And man, a lot has happened. I managed to upload some things with my team during the night, but there's also an exclusive update on Danilo. Guys, we're going to bring everything to you now. It's really important for us to share this information. And I want to remind you that you can also secure your spot at Flamengo's games. With Geraldo's travel group, I'm here, man. The trip was super smooth. Everything's okay. Everything's perfect. It's always like this with Geraldo's caravan. We're traveling everywhere. Following Mengao, I came with Geraldo's travel group from the United States to here. So, man, I've never had any problems, never had any complaints from anyone. It's impressive how serious this company is. It's good. It's a small company, but it does a really great job. So, Geraldo's travel group, you can secure your spot at all Flamengo games in Rio de Janeiro with tickets included, okay? You can have tickets included for the games at Maracanã. Yeah, also remember that there's the Champions League coming up, and I want to remind you that you can lose weight in a healthy way. The links are there for you to get the best hair treatment, the most revolutionary, the most technological, the EXO, and also the My Slim program helps you lose weight in a healthy way. Links are in the pinned comment and description. Well, let's go. Let's start talking here about Flamengo losing. I'm going to say losing, not even selling one of its biggest prospects. A player who was considered the great prospect from Flamengo's youth academy, Rian Roberto, and Flamengo losing this player, it's impressive. But Flamengo is going to receive 30 million, could receive 30 million reais. The deal is already underway, guys. 30 million reais is nothing for a player of Rian Roberto's quality. If we stop to think that he's a player who could easily be worth 30, 40 million euros, he's a star. Flamengo getting 30 million reais is surreal. It's unbelievable. It's unacceptable. I'll tell you guys, that's also a lot about the player himself and the agent himself. I'll tell you why, man. I can't understand such a young player. I can't understand such a young player who has a good offer with a salary, professional level, with a chance to shine at Flamengo, the biggest club in America. Yeah, wanting to go to Shakhtar Donetsk. Oh, but it's because he'll make money, man. Money is more important right now. Then there was that demand they made, the demand his agent made. I'm not even going to blame the athlete, but sometimes it's the agent. The demand that the agent made was that the player should get playing time, should have opportunities under Coach Leonardo Jardim. Guys, for God's sake, how does that work? Are you going to demand a guarantee that the player will play? That doesn't exist. The athlete demanding that he's going to play, putting in the contract that he has to play. That doesn't exist. That's absurd. That's surreal. For me, that was already the intention to leave, right? And then Flamengo slyly secured another 20% of the player's rights. Knowing his quality, that he has quality, Flamengo secured another 20%. And then they paid $1.5 million for those extra 20% that they got. And they kept 70% of the player's rights. Shakhtar Donetsk is going to pay 8 million euros. Shakhtar for 80% of the player's rights. And out of those 80% Flamengo, Atletico, if I'm not mistaken, Atletico Paranaense has 30%, Flamengo has 70 out of 100, and now Flamengo is selling 50% of their 70. Flamengo keeps 20% for a future sale. Flamengo could still have an interesting sale in the future with that 20%, but it's crazy, right? It's crazy. Out of those 8 million euros, Flamengo will be entitled to receive about 30 million reais, okay? So it's shameful. I think it's unbelievable. When we think that a player who's playing for Flamengo, coming up through Flamengo's youth system, being a champion, and with Leonardo Jardim, he would have had an opportunity, wanting to demand minutes, wanting to demand playing time, not wanting to accept what Flamengo proposed. A club the size of Flamengo to go to a Shakhtar Donetsk from Ukraine, which is at war. Unbelievable, my friends. I can't understand this. What goes on in the agent's head? I don't even care if he gets upset with me. I have no connection with any agent. My brother, what are you thinking, Rian Roberto's agent? to take a player out of Flamengo, to pressure Flamengo into letting the player leave. The love is over, brother. The love is over. This whole love thing. There are only a few players like Arrascaeta and so on. There are only a few who really love the club. Danilo, it's unbelievable what goes through the mind of an agent who takes a player out of Flamengo to take him to the war in Ukraine. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. And to a team Shakhtar, but come on, for God's sake, let's talk now about Danilo's situation. Last night, Kaze TV posted about it. Then I also saw that it was information from Vene Casagrande, but we shared that information a few days ago, that Flamengo was interested in Danilo. And on top of that, yesterday I commented here on social media that Flamengo, this supposed interest in Andre and other midfielders, is all just a smokescreen. Flamengo wants Danilo. The name Flamengo wants is Danilo. And we have some important information to share with you. First, Flamengo has already started making contact. They're trying to sign him, and they might offer something interesting to Botafogo to make this signing of Danilo happen. Flamengo might try to make this signing, even with some interesting deals for Botafogo. Besides the signing and the purchase, Flamengo is considering a way to put this deal together. Flamengo has already made contact. They believe Giuliano Bertolucci can help because of his strong relationship, which could also help with signing Danilo. That's the name Flamengo wants. Flamengo really wants him now. Palmeiras is also in the running, and Fulham is in the mix too. These teams, including Fulham, which is the club Flamengo sold Rodrigo Muniz to some time ago. They usually make really big investments, but it's the Premier League. They have money, and we know how much players want to come to the Premier League, right? Unfortunately, but that's how it is. So Flamengo is facing competition from Palmeiras and Fulham. Flamengo has already made initial contact, that's confirmed, and the information we have from a source close to Flamengo's management is that the deal hasn't moved forward yet. Flamengo has already made initial contact, but they still haven't managed to make progress in signing Danilo, okay? It's still a very preliminary deal, just an attempt. A contact has already been made. There really has been a contact, but nothing has moved forward. Flamengo hasn't managed to make progress with this signing, and the Flamengo fans are really hoping a lot. So, what have I even heard from other influencers? So, man, is it real? What do you think are the chances of signing him? Is there a chance? And I put it like this. When it comes to Flamengo, with the money Flamengo has, it's 70%. And I don't put more than that because of the rivalry. I don't know if Botafogo will want to negotiate, okay? But I think there's a chance. Flamengo has money. Flamengo wants it. Flamengo has it. Today, I think Flamengo has more money, more ability to sign than the others. But Fulham's advantage. It's that he's in the Premier League, and because it's the Premier League, the player might end up choosing to go to Europe and play in the Premier League. That's the issue here. And now all the information about the game coming up soon here in Buenos Aires. I'm also going to call our reporter Gabriel Orfão. Over at the Obelisk, he filmed with fans there, met Brazilian fans and everything. But we have important information here, and we'll share this interview from our reporter Gabriel Orfão on all our social media. With the fans there at the Obelisk, the famous tourist spot in Buenos Aires. So, bringing you all the complete information here, guys. The game is at 9:30 p.m. broadcast by Rede Globo and also by Paramount Plus. So Paramount Plus and on free-to-air TV, it's on Rede Globo at 9:30 p.m. third round, probable Flamengo lineup. Rossi, Royal, Leo Ortiz, Danilo, and Ayrton Lucas, Everton, Araujo, Jorginho, or De La Cruz, and Arrascaeta. Then it could be Plata, Lino, and Bruno Henrique, or Carrascal, Lino, and Bruno Henrique. I think they'll go with Pedro. Even though GE is projecting Bruno Henrique, I think they'll go with Pedro. Pedro is doing really well. Bruno Henrique is also doing well, but Pedro stands out. Probable lineup. Remember that Leo Pereira is out due to a deep cut. He's out. Probable lineup for Estudiantes: Fernando Muslera, Mancuso, González Pires, Tomás Palacios, and Benedetti, Amondaraim, Ezequiel Piovi, Thiago Palacios, Facundo Farias, and Edwin Cetre. Guido Carrillo leads the attack. The coach is Alexander Medina, and the referee is Piero Mazza from Chile has already refereed several Flamengo matches. The assistants are Jose Retamal and Miguel Rocha, also from Chile. All of them are from Chile, okay? They've already officiated Flamengo games, and I know the VAR official too, Juan Lara. These are the match details. Let's go to Gabriel Orfo. Live at the obelisk. Watch out for the obelisk behind you.
Hey, this is Gabriel Orfo. I'm here. Look, check out where I am at the obelisk in downtown Buenos Aires, here in the Argentine capital.
Dos principais pontos turísticos.
Here in Buenos Aires province, I'm here for the match between Flamengo and Estudiantes de La Plata.
Pela Comebol Libertadores.
And I'm going to bring you some news, some information, everything that's happening here.
Nos bastidores do Flamengo.
And look, Flamengo isn't the only Brazilian team that's here, okay? Santos also plays here, and in fact, there are two Santos fans who are about to walk by behind me. So both Flamengo and Santos are here in Buenos Aires for their games. And look, here come the Santos fans. Come over here. Come on, say a few words. This is a Flamengo channel, but hey, here it's Brazil and Argentina, Brazil and Argentina. What are your expectations for today's game against San Lorenzo?
It's the same as always. We came for the badge because the team isn't doing it justice.
Right?
We always hope they win, right? And today they have to win, right? Because basically,
if they don't win, basically they won't. Come here, I'm curious about something. How do Santos fans see Gabigol's situation after everything he's been through, right? He started in the club's youth academy, moved to Flamengo, had that dispute with the board, and now he's at Santos. How do you feel about Gabigol on your team?
Each fan sees it in their own way, okay? Me, honestly, yesterday I went to the hotel and saw him coming out. He's really cocky. He's a Flamengo fan now. Because honestly, he achieved a lot there. Not that he didn't achieve things at Santos, he might even be a Santos fan at heart. He formed a bond with Flamengo, but isn't sure what he wants to be. When he was at Flamengo, he always did that to us. And now he's here and it's like, man, you have to do it for your team. He's with Santos now, thank you. He has to honor the Santos jersey and he's not honoring it, man, he's not honoring it. I much prefer the pressure on him than on Neymar, you know? That's why I say the Santos fans are cruel.
Man, it's cruel. They suck up to people they shouldn't. To wrap up here in Rio de Janeiro, we have an opinion, and I want to know if you guys from Santos agree too. How much does this Palmeiras team whine, huh? Abel Ferreira, Leila, it's a different show all the time.
If I were a Santos fan, I could handle it for a day.
Santos fans always complain about the referees helping them. They complain a lot.
It's the worst, man, you know? At home, I have two Palmeiras fans, my daughter and my wife. Man, you can compare it, like those guys, they can't handle the pressure. A bad result is already a reason for sadness, for despair. And here's the thing about Abel. I even agree with his way for everything he's doing at Palmeiras. If you look at what he's achieved and the time he's been at the club, he's a winner. Totally, man, he's a guy that, like, I prefer him with his own style. I wouldn't trade him for a Voivoda or a Kuka on the field. Someone who's not really there for anything. At least he's honoring the badge. He's working, doing his part.
That's it. And hey, Neymar, in the World Cup, yes or no? Yes.
but I don't think so, man.
Neymar, he'll go to the World Cup no matter what. Even with a broken foot, he'd go. Not because of his soccer, but because of the sponsors. Yeah.
Do you guys think so?
For sure, man. Neymar, he draws attention. We see it here in Argentina.
We slept outside the hotel today.
Yeah, Neymar.
He takes on this responsibility not just for soccer, I get it. Neymar is a guy who, man, you see, here in Argentina, I'm impressed. How much they love soccer?
They love soccer here, right?
No, we have this rivalry here. We walk around, people compliment us, talk to us, and that's something that's missing in Brazil. So, like today, Neymar, man, is an idol not just for Santos fans, and he's going to the World Cup no matter what. You can be sure, man, there are a lot of sponsors, a lot of money involved.
And look, to wrap things up, I want to know your prediction for the score between São Lourenço and Santos, but also give us your take on the score between Estudiantes and Flamengo.
Flamengo and Santos. Flamengo em São Lourenço 2-1, Flamengo em Estudiantes. Flamengo em Estudiantes 2-0 for Flamengo. Em Santos em São Lourenço 2-1 Flamengo.
It's all right, Flamengo, man. Also, I'm going to guess something like 2-0, 3-0, and Santos, man, I'm going to back my team on this one. Say that we're going to leave here with 2-1.
Say it, 2-1 for Santos.
A hard-fought win.
Hard fought.
But that's how it is.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. What's the game channel? Paparazzo Rubro Negro?
Cool, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks. This is live from Buenos Aires, guys who love soccer. And look at this image. He's a character image from our friend Raiza Simplicio. Let me hold this. See the coach on the sideline? That's how he is and stays. Look at how the coach keeps pacing back and forth, gesturing, moving his arms. Man, what a funny image. What a cool image. Look at Mr. Oh, there's even a video, right? Of Pedro's header goal, if I'm not mistaken, against Medellin. I don't remember. There's even a video of a Flamengo goal where the player heads the ball. I think it's Pedro who heads it, and the coach on the sideline does exactly the same thing. At the right moment, he headed along with the player. So Leonardo Jardim is a guy who's being really well liked at the start of his journey with Flamengo, and we hope he keeps doing well, just like he is now, right? Very good numbers. Over 82% success rate, surpassing all the coaches from this era after 2019. Even surpassing Jorge Jesus. Of course, Coach Jesus had a much longer period. Jardim is just starting his journey, but if he keeps up this pace, Jardim will continue to surpass our beloved Jorge Jesus, who is now the coach of Al Nassr, even far away in Saudi Arabia. He has a great affection for Flamengo and for Leonardo Jardim himself. Because our Gabriel Reis, Paparazzo Rubro Negro, talked to Jorge Jesus and asked, Coach, what do you think about Flamengo and Leonardo Jardim? Jorge Jesus said, I haven't been watching Flamengo's games, but I believe in Jardim. Best regards. We know here that Jorge Jesus and Jardim are friends. Jorge Jesus, of course. With his busy schedule, there's also the time zone difference over there in Saudi Arabia. He ends up not watching Flamengo's games very often, but he trusts Leonardo Jardim so much that when he left, he recommended Flamengo to hire Jardim because he knew it would work out. And so far it is working, right? Coach Leonardo Jardim is doing really well at Flamengo in the cold city of Buenos Aires with the security team led by Fabinho Machado and Gabriel Skinner, Flamengo's scouting manager. Jorginho, the Flamengo midfielder, the first player to get off the bus. Defender Danilo, midfielder Arrascaeta, the number 10 for Flamengo. Rodrigo Paiva, the communications director, followed by Pedro Guilherme and then Leo Ortiz are players for Mengão. Arriving in Buenos Aires, the fullback Alexandre, there's another one being closely watched over there. Next, Alassian, Ayrton, Lucas, Everton, Cebolinha is the 4-time Libertadores champion in Buenos Aires. The defender Vitão passed by there, Gonzalo Plata arriving here, another Mengo player arriving, Luis Araujo LA, together with Emerson Royal. Next, Bruno Henrique, football director Jose Boto. Remember, we don't have any fans here, only the press. Samuel Lino, Leonardo Jardim, Flamengo's coach, Guillermo Varela, Nico de la Cruz, they're the Uruguayans from Mengão. Next, the Spaniard Saul Niguez. Everton Araujo had a great run. Everton Araujo. Jorge Carrasca is back. He was injured. Now he's back. The members of Leonardo Jardim's coaching staff, and there are still some players left. Rossi didn't come. Wanderl hasn't either. There's the bus bringing the team that will face Estudiantes de La Plata at Jorge Luis Hirsch Stadium this Wednesday at 9:30 in the evening. Now coming is goalkeeper Wanderl, arriving together with Ronald da Futebol, Diogo Alves, and Agustin Rossi, the trio of goalkeepers for Mengão, the 3 goalkeepers of Mengão, together with Thiago Heller, the goalkeeping coach, and Dr. Fernando Sasaki. And that's it. The arrival of Club de Regatas do Flamengo at the Sheraton Greenville Hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina is complete.